Welcome back, viewers. So let's just dive into our next panel discussion on the topic. The future of e-commerce is frictionless, experimental, and everywhere. How RPA and technology like AI, ML, AR, VR shaping the e-commerce industry. For which I would like to welcome Swati Anuj Arya, Chief Information Security Officer, Emerging Markets, Amazon Pay; Manoj Srivastav, Ease My Trip; Atul Shivnani, Head E-commerce and Digital, The Body Shop India; Garima Pant, Assistant Editor, Elets Technomedia.
Thanks, Pratishtha.
A very
So,
warm welcome to you all. Now I would like to hand over the session to Garima Pant as she will be moderating this session. Over to you, ma'am.
thanks, Pratishtha. And I am very delighted to welcome Ms. Swati Anuj Arya, Chief Information Security Officer, Emerging Markets, Amazon Pay. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. And Mr. Manoj Srivastava, Vice President, Information Technology, Ease My Trip. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, to dive into this discussion, I'll begin with you, Swati, ma'am. Uh, Talking about the top trends shaping the future of e-commerce and how to prepare for them. If you could share some your thoughts on those.
Thanks, Karima, for inviting. So for e-commerce, I think I can answer it more from the security and like compliance and regulatory aspect. So even when we are talking about the customer experience, security and data protection has been integral part now for for the entire customer experience journey. Now customers are concerned where their data is going and whether their data will be safe or not. So even from the customer perspective, the data security, the overall information security has been really important now. And I think organizations are also focusing a lot to make sure that the end to end data is being secured. They are taking care of data security from the start of the journey, and they are making sure their infrastructure, their processes, uh, they are making sure that the information security is integrated in those elements. And it can start from the application security. It can cover the various elements of the IT infrastructure and other part. And I think they are very much focusing on the data security as well as the regulatory compliance aspect when they are dealing with sensitive data like payment data, or if they are dealing with personal identifiable information of their customers in various geographies. They are abiding with the applicable laws and regulation. Even in countries where laws are not very clear and they are tentative in nature, entities are taking care of PII as critical data, and they are making sure that they are using advanced technologies, including AI and ML, to protect the data and to strengthen their overall infrastructure. So that's what I feel. I'm sure other speaker can add more to it.
Right. Thank you, ma'am, for leading the discussion. Mr. Srivastava, can we have your thoughts on this question, please?
Yeah, thank you, Garima, for inviting me for this wonderful topic, e-commerce, future of e-commerce. So undoubtedly, future is e-commerce because most of thing you can see everything is available on the e-commerce platform. I remember some decade only people are buying online for flight, hotel, or something, rail tickets. But now you can name it. Everything is available on e-commerce basket. Even though right from grocery item to you can call the barber at your home. So in other words, e-commerce is shaping is very much, and this is next future of the generation. And everything I can see the e-commerce is a rather I can say not e-commerce, I can say m-commerce is going to be a boom now. So now consumer base also expecting everything should be available on e-commerce because is a very handy available. You can move around anything you can buy online. So most important factor is consumer base, especially saying what is available right now to buy online, so that even before deciding and going to the retail shop and buying something, they can decide immediately to buy online. That's a very easy, a very convenient to way of thinking. And also I can see the last couple of years people mindset also change. When you can say mindset change, that means everybody is try to figure out how to buy online. Number one, and number two is mindset also very change for the consumer as well as buyer or supplier both. Because supplier, what happened, they are whether it is a startup company or whether it is traditional company, basically they are saying what is the item can be sell online. That's most important because that's going to be easiest way to sell, number one, and fastest way to sell. So uh, entire dynamics are also very changing very fast, and everybody is looking after the approach where they can sell item and buy item very easy method. So when we say e-commerce or m-commerce, so easiest way how to buy, number one, using mobile application, at the same time how to pay, and whether it is a wallet or net banking system or whatever. So that's also is a itself is industry. When say fintech company started and integrating those things. So now earlier days I remember only you can use net banking or master or visa card to serve the and take the payment. But now all wallets are available, even the GPay or mobile pay, any wallet you can pay online. So this is the future, I must say, and yes, agree with the Swati because security and compliances is very very important. Because people are more concerned about their data security, yeah, especially for credit card information. And second, most of country they started on the own data privacy, like say GDPR or Indian data privacy also in picture. Singapore country also started on data privacy. So is a country specific data privacy also come in picture. So make sure all the e-commerce platform, whatever we are selling, whatever we are buying, so consumer also in the, concerned about what information they store in the system, and that is legally allowed or not allowed. The compliance is also same time also very important, and every consumer or every company who's selling online, so make sure their data is privacy also be protected and compliant.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Uh,
you.
um, Ms. Swati, if I could come back to you and seek your thoughts on as sir mentioned that e-commerce is the future. So the technologies like artificial intelligence and augmented reality, how do you think they are transforming this online shopping experience?
I think now, I mean, e-commerce companies, because they are dealing directly with the end customer, it's very important that they can understand what customer is looking for, right? So, uh, what are their preferences, what they like to buy, and what are their pain areas in the entire payment or entire order journey, and eliminating those pain areas with the help of AI. For example, if there is a customer who is always looking for a set of products, I mean, let's take example, if he or she is always looking for clothes which are ethnic in style, uh, entities can make this information using learning that they can improve the customer experience. They can offer better products, better options for the customers. So understanding the customer, what he or she wants, and offering the products based on that is something that definitely AI and ML can help. I think uh, the other part is that at the back end also they can eliminate certain mundane processes, they can eliminate the overheads, and they can use that the money that they are saving for better offering to the customer. So, I mean, when we are saying e-commerce, the IT is something which is like foundation, and it's important component for the entire business. And AI and ML can help in two ways: understanding the customers better and making their customer experience better, and second, eliminating the IT processes or the overheads and giving that money for better offering to the customers. So, and when we say future, actually it I'll say it's present, right? I mean, what you can't get today with the help of one click on your mobile or your laptop, you can get whatever you want, and like in very stipulated time you can get whatever you want at the doorstep. So I think instead of saying it's future, we can say it's present, and the entire journey is being improved, enhanced, and there'll be time when we can see that you can actually get a virtual trial of the clothes or item that you want to buy, and it will help customers in making faster decision for purchase.
Right, ma'am. The possibilities are endless. We can imagine that. Mr. Manoj, would you like to add something to this? And probably, does this entire, scenario add a, lot of pressure on, the players in the market? Yeah.
Sorry, your audio was a little bit. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Can you
I
repeat the
just
question?
sure, sir. I just wanted to understand if you could add something, how AI and augmented reality are transforming this online shopping experience. And do you think so much of, availability, the ease of availability is adding pressure onto the players to deliver?
I would not say the pressure because AI ML is just a tool to how best we can utilize AI ML technology, and still I can say AI ML or NPL technology is not very mature stage because still people are using it and testing it, and yes, some extent they some of the use cases they already deploy those things on e-commerce platform. But yes, AI ML is very much related to especially for customer experience. When we say customer experience, basically the customers, that customer is very demanding nowadays. Now they want everything should be on handy, number one, and also same time they're expecting what they require in terms of their liking, disliking. So that is they interacting with the bot, they're interacting with the voice chat or basic voice bot. So basically, they try to understand how much bot understand their requirement. That's most important. So AI ML is most important to analyze the customer experience, basically customer history. Based on customer history, basically they can analyze the what is the customer requirement. So I would say AI ML, yes, very effective, but that is going to be happen when AI ML going to be read all those information for the historical data of the particular user. This is very important to connect because until unless bot or maybe AI ML don't understand what exactly customer want or what is the history talk about the particular customer, they're not able to translate all the information. So yes, AI ML is a tool, of course. Yes, how best we can utilize in a use case, that is also is a challenge.
Right, sir. Right. You mentioned about experience here, and I think personalization or having bespoke offerings plays a very important role in recreating that extensive shopping experience. So, sir, if you could let us know do you think how and does big data help there in these analytics in giving a personalized experience?
Well, again, big data, AI, ML, all those things is a tool actually. How best we can utilize big data, that's a challenge. Now, what happened before big data, before any of the tool? Most important thing is what data we have, how where the data is spread out across the ecosystem. For example, I know my customer is taking flight every day, every fortnight or whatever. So I know customer behavior. So this person is buying flight or hotel and car rental services. So I keep the tracking all those customers. So now moving ahead, I have to track the customer what other liking disliking, where they're going to be, other than flight, what is liking disliking, what kind of food they have, what kind of travel experience they have. So these are area basically we can collect all the information and we track those information in one all the dotted line we connect with, and then we can create some ecosystem so that bot or maybe that entire journey we can track. So big data will help you in terms of analyzing the data. But before that, there are preparation of the data is very important. We have to create a data lake. We have to create, information, collect from all the sources and put in one place. That's a big challenge. Then after you can utilize where we can store all the data. Is big data is going to be good fit of the tool, or maybe going for any other open source kind of data. So data, big data is of course yes can be good instrumental in part of analytical, but more important thing is what kind of data collated in data lake. That's a very massive task, and most important KPI, what we going to be put on the KPI to take the analytics. So analytics is very subjective, and how much you understand the customer psyche, how much you understand deep drive the customer experience, and based on that you can and do the start analysis. Analysis is not like say you can simply plug in big data and you can start populating all this information. Big data again, my point of view, big data is just tool. How smartly you can utilize, how component we can use it, and how in one click or three click or five click, how best we can analyze the data. That's also talk about the same time.
Right, sir. Viswati, if I can ask you, to share your thoughts on, the personalization role, how does big data help in giving that kind of an experience to, a user?
Like, I would like to simplify this, Karima, like why we need big data and where the technical, the traditional technologies were not able to serve. So, if you talk about like 10 years back or like 15 years back, the volume of the data was not that huge that we have today. So, if you imagine a single user maybe generating terabytes of data over the time in the entire e-commerce experience or journey, if we have to analyze this data or if we have to get some meaning of that data, which can, I mean, and when we are saying data, it can be actually structured data, it can be unstructured, or it can be like hybrid semi structured data. Getting meaningful information from that is important. And if you are not able to derive that information, definitely your customer will not get the value in terms of customer experience, their preferences. To offer those kind of values where you understand your customer better, you analyze what they want and what can be their preference. So it's not about what we are liking today. Based on my order history, they should be able to predict that what are the things that I may like, right? So predicting what a customer may like also is something that can help, that can be actually solved with the big data. And it's not only about the personalization, right? You have to also work in the background to serve your customer based on their preference or their personalization. So you have to work on the entire supply chain to get those products preferences in line, ready in your inventory, and you have to prepare that everything is like being delivered on time. So the big data can help you in the entire supply chain journey, understanding your customers better and giving them what they want today and what they may like in future or in their next order.
Right. Perfect, ma'am. Staying on to you, I would like to know from you, one of the technologies that contribute to the e-commerce development is RPA, or the robotic process automation. Can you give some insights, into the kind of benefit it brings to the table?
I come from like information security and audit background. I can give more example from that. But yes, I understand that RP is not only helping in that domain, but it's beyond, right? So I can start from what, I mean, the domain where I work. So definitely
Sure.
RPA is helping in the audit processes, the checks of the security controls and the compliance part. Definitely that is an area where RPA is being utilized to eliminate the misses that can happen if things are being taken care manually. Uh, but I understand that in the entire supply chain journey or e-commerce journey, RPA is also helping organizations in delivering the products in their fulfillment centers. So RPA is actually touching the different points in the e-commerce journey, and it is helping different departments in eliminating the wastage in terms of manpower, the IT processings, and they are able to react on quickly on the issues that need to be focused on. So I think these are some of the areas which are being utilized in the e-commerce to produce better result in different departments, different domains.
Right, right, right. Mr. Manoj, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, RPA is definitely is going to be very interesting and new generation of the technology. I must say, uh, I would differentiate between RPA with the robotic process, which is physical robotic as well as a soft robotic. When we say physical robotic, basically in my industry, especially when we talk about airport airline system, airport a robot is nowadays is very very use case. For example, you can go in any side of the airport, especially in Indian airport or maybe outside the airport. So there are robot will give you help you in terms of assist you where the boarding gate, for example, where you can take the boarding card, for example. You can robotic also help you in terms of where guide you entire airport if the airport is very big, also take you and assist you to reach at the boarding gate, because bigger airport is the boarding gate is something around 500 meter or maybe sometime with 1 kilometer. So in the biggest airport, for example, so there are hundred boarding gate is available. So is it confusing and numbers confusing? Sometimes boarding gate is flight is changed from X boarding gate to Y boarding gate. So people are when you're traveling, time and entire journey is so mass. Basically, in that case, robotic can help in terms of guide them. This is one of the use case. Second is, yes, where the lift available, where the exit gate, all those things. Especially robotic is very successful in the airport ecosystem. And second is when we talk about soft robotic, that's going to be help in documentation process. Most of the industry, they have a documentation process, like say scanning all those information, archiving in somewhere database, whether in cloud or maybe in on-prem. So robotic is taking place, soft robotic taking place, eliminate the human process and put wherever the robotic soft robotic is required. So industry is making the soft robotic, placing the inside of the office, and wherever they want, whether IT system or back office system, they utilize. Only thing is, it's not easy to plug in and start the robotic. They have to do proper UOT cases, what kind of robotic they do, and sometime I feel robotic process and manual process run parallelly until unless they have a level of accuracy, reach at the accuracy till the time they can utilize. Otherwise, after that, definitely they can handle by robotic only.
Right, 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 sir. So, we have our guests. We have which come from two diverse segments. So, if I can ask both of you to probably let us know the kind of challenges that come your way while over the last 2 years, how the businesses have grown, how they've developed, and the kind of journey you've seen, and the kind of future outlook that you foresee in your respective segments. So, I'll begin with you, Miss Swati.
I think one part is that the more you deal with data, more you have to take care of that, right? So we have talked about RPA, we have talked about big data, we have talked about ML. I mean, at the background, we are talking about the data and utilizing that data. At the same time, the legal authorities, the regulatory bodies, they are conscious how entities are using this data and are they securing this data enough or not. At the same time, business is growing fastly, so they want to launch their products quickly, they want to utilize more data, and they want to produce better customer research. So there has been a kind of balance that we have to maintain, where your regulators, your legal authorities, they have a set of expectation in terms of securing and protecting the data, and at the same time your business has expectation that they can utilize this data more, and they can utilize this data as much as possible to give better end customer experience. And as an information security professional, I think our core challenge is like maintaining the balance between these two. We want this data to be utilized for customer experience. At the same time, we also have to abide with the regulations, the data protection guidelines, so that there is a balance and both the elements are being taken care well. And second challenge is the time, right? The way business is growing and the customer demands are increasing, especially customer expectation has increased because of number of offerings, number of players, and they want more and more in terms of their experience, not only in terms of what products are being offering, how return is being managed, how they can get the product on I mean on time or before time, and this time is actually reducing, and the entire business is growing and changing very fast to serve those customer expectation. At the same time, the regulations are evolving, and if you're serving to multiple geographies, the variation in in the regulations are there. So I think maintaining those balances is the key, and that's what we have to do all the time. And I'll not say it's only challenge, but I'll say it's an opportunity where we can actually protect customer interest from all aspects.
So, ma'am, did it has it grown any tougher during the last 2 years, or have you seen any kind of a tectonic shift in managing that kind of data?
I'm not sure if you are referring last 2 years because of the situation
The
that
pandemic,
entire world.
yes.
Yes, definitely. Because of that, there were a couple of challenges, right? So, uh, I'll start with more people have started relying on e-commerce, right? So the traditional customer base, which was not using e-commerce, they also started it because of physical restrictions that were enforced. So serving to new customer base, I think entities have to make some changes so that they can accommodate and offer services to this new customer base which is coming to them. At the same time, industry was also facing a lot of challenges, logistic challenges to provide or scale that infrastructure. And I come from the cloud background, so I know that how much cloud has helped in that, and a lot of traditional entities have moved from their data centers to the cloud just because they knew that they'll not be able to scale up to this new customer base if they'll continue to do business in same fashion. So I think they have been challenged, but e-commerce has came as a savior, and it was able to reach to the customers, new customers which were not reachable or not willing to order before. But in last 2 years, I think it has been a kind of opportunity for e-commerce where they were able to serve new customers and better way. And I see it's more a kind of social cause as well. I mean, I have used number of e-commerce partner to send medicines and to send grocery where they were like either ill or they were not able to go outside in the last 2 years. So I think it was able to reach the customer in more human way, and it was solving some of the core issues in last 2 years. Logistics side, there were challenges. They have to scale up. They have to make themselves easy and comfortable for the new set of customers, which can be like young generation. I mean, the comparatively younger generation to the elder customer base.
Right, right, right. So, Mr. Srivastav, your thoughts, please.
Okay, as per my understanding, I think you were referring to pre-pandemic and post-pandemic.
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay, yeah, scenario is totally different because pre-pandemic, actually, the entire industry is moving in a own space, and they are saying whatever they are doing, that's perfectly fine, and that's the way of the style. Now, during the pandemic, this entire dynamics has changed, whether it is a supplier as well as consumer both. So, the big company, I can't name it, they have huge, big ARP they are running the last couple of years, that big show. They implemented all the big ERP in last 10 years. But after pandemic, there are no use of it. They're saying they are kind of running the big elephant. So now most of industry, they have decided no, operating cost is somehow we can use the technology and our operating cost should be less. How we best we can utilize, that is a now they are a point of discussion. Now during the pandemic, that was a good period. Basically, industry was in a pause mode, and everybody is now rethinking about investment, where they can invest, which investment is a good ROI. And I would say this was a good stop to rethink about the next generation of the technology being used. That is one point I'd like to highlight everywhere. And the second is same time, consumer also stop sometime. They are little bit away from the professional life, and they get into family time and all those things. They realize, oh, they are unnecessarily busy in some unwanted things. So they have a time with the family spent, and then after realize, I can say is a rethinking about once again how exactly what information, what kind of product they need. Then they started, okay, this product I think is a very necessary for us. They can utilize, or they can buy online, or they are going for online method because everything is locked during this period. So they are people are, they have to run the life. So they are find the way to how to utilize those channel and get things done. So I can see there are a lot of society level. They started the application, developing application. They don't bothered about whether it's cloud or something. So that is the unstructured way they start selling. Of course, they are unstructured way, but then after they realize, oh, this is a way I can grow the business. And you can see when pandemic is over, then most of the startup company doing something very well, because during that period they have planned very well, and after they launch the system. One more thing I would like to add here, because earlier days, most of traditional IT company, not IT company, basic corporate, they are very scared to go with the cloud computing kind of environment. Though they are happy with the huge, traditional data center kind of thing, they are very scared about putting the application on cloud, because they're saying, oh, cloud may be not secure enough. A lot of financial data we have to share. So they're gradually moving to cloud, because most of people here is a problem is we are not fast mover. We have to move, somebody move, and then after we are follow. So whatever happened with those guys, then I can protect those things before that. So nobody wanted to take the risk, big risk actually. So now people are moving here within cloud, and now people are also following those things. Okay, cloud may be good. So they started very low-hanging items to put in the cloud, and let's see the experience of the customer or experience of the employee. Then they find, okay, this information can be shared on the cloud. So gradually, today, I can say all data center, I mean, again, maybe I'm wrong, 95% applications running in the cloud. 95%, whether it's a hybrid scale, hybrid mode, or maybe e-commerce. E-commerce definitely is on the cloud. So corporate, automobile industry, and even hotel industry, or any industry, say that everything is booming on the cloud. Down the line, next 5 year, I think cloud going to be again very busy, and that's going to be different business altogether. Today we have a public cloud, maybe three or four maximum, but well-known cloud, I must say. But tomorrow, I can say the cloud also going to be overloaded, and then the hybrid model, we have to see what kind of we can utilize cloud. And people also very smart, they also understand what application are available on cloud. And that's in terms of security, this is also very important. When you have everything on cloud, so you have make sure your security and your yes, posture of security should be right, and that's also compliant and proper protected.
Right. Perfect, sir. So do you think this rapid growth and the changes experienced by the e-commerce industry? So how do you think is the technology penetration making the businesses more competitive, Mr. Srivastava?
Yeah, so that's I said earlier. Moving forward is a very competitive environment, because everybody is coming on the e-commerce space and commerce space, and you name it, whether it is education, whether it is a grocery, or even though everybody is selling yoga online or teaching online. So I must say I don't find any area where which is not available on the e-commerce platform. So and it's a very very huge market. I still untapped, and I must say this is future. And technology is the only solution to gear up the e-commerce platform, because only technology can help. Otherwise, e-commerce itself is electronic. So when we have come in an electronic platform, definitely e-commerce is only going to be technology is going to be support. Now, I must say, technology, you name it, AI, ML, or maybe NLP, or I must say, blockchain also coming in very very good shape. And blockchain, when we have a blockchain use case, very very tight use case, definitely is a take over in next level of e-commerce space.
Right, right, right. Thank you, sir. Miss Swati, your thoughts, please.
I mean, at the end of day, it's about customer, right? I mean, technology can be a supportive element to be customer obsessed, right? But if you talk about e-commerce specifically, technology is differentiator, right? And technology is making it different from your local kirana shop or the local vendors which are serving to you. If you eliminate technology from the e-commerce, I think they will not be able to serve the customers as they are doing. So for them, technology is critical piece. And as Mano said, that any technology, I mean, be it big data or AI, at the end of the day, we should know how we are going to use it. So approach has to be right, that we should understand what problem we are trying to solve with the technology. And definitely technology will evolve and it will help industry, e-commerce industry, in serving to customer in better way. It will make the supply chain better, it will make the customer experience better, it will make better way to protect the data and secure the data. And at the end of the day, customer is a core that you have to serve. And you, I mean, whatever technology you are referring to, your objective should be customer, like how you're going to use this technology to solve customer problem. So I think technology is I mean, a big supportive or foundation for the e-commerce companies in solving the problem for their customer and being customer obsessed.
Right, right, right. Thank you, ma'am. I think for me this was a very good learning experience to to know so much from the industry leaders that are present here in this session. So thank you, Mr. Manoj Srivastav, for being here with us today, and thank you, Ms. Swati Sharma, for joining us today in this session. Thank you so much. Over to you,
Thank you.
Pratish sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, speakers, for such an insightful session. Also, I would like to thank our moderator, Ms. Garima Pant, for amazing moderation. Now, as a token of appreciation, I would like to share the appreciation certificates. Swati Anuj Arya, Chief Information Security Officer, Emerging Markets, Amazon Pay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining with us today. Manoj Srivastav, Vice President, Information Technology, Ease My Trip. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining with us today. Thank you for time and insights.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Malice.